I'm Tisha.
I'm Loren.
And this is the Open Booked podcast. Today we are talking about Scythe and Sparrow, the third in the Ruinous Love trilogy by, what was her
Brynn
name?
Weaver.
Brynn Weaver.
Yeah.
But first, what are you reading?
I have a paragraph. I love this question every week. I prep for it. Okay. As we all know, we read multiple books at a time. Currently, audio, I'm listening to Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I am kind of on an Ali Hazelwood kick because I just read Deepened and look at the edges. They're so pretty.
Oh, that's cute.
Anyways, yeah, so story about this one. My husband went to Sam's Club and I was a little frustrated at him. Not like fighting, but just he was annoying me, being married. And
cooped up for an entire week.
Literally. I was like, he's looking for fights, okay? Like, we had to get the fuck out of the house. Anyways, he sent me this picture. He was at Sam's Club. He sends me this picture of all the books. Anything you want? And I was like, I'm good, because I was pissy. And then I sat there, thought about it, and I'm like, how many times is my husband going to give me pick of the litter of a whole bookshelf? So I screenshotted it, circled several, gave him several options, and I was like, any of these would be great if you insist, or some shit like that. So he said he went, and all the ones I circled, he read the covers, and picked this one out because it had sprayed edges, and he thought that the back, that I would really like it. He doesn't know that I like Ali Hazelwood, so he did good. But anyways, highly recommend. That book got me wanting to read another one of hers. I do that. I find a book, it's really good, and then I go to that author and read every single book they've written. We've done it with Geneva Rose. We've done it with Lucy Foley. Now it's Ali Hazel. Oh, I did it with Emily Henry. Now it's Ali Hazelwood's turn. So I just finished that. That's my audio. For paper, I think I talked about this on our very first podcast. This is an indie author, Trisha O'Malley, and she writes these cute, quirky little rom-coms. I will come back. I'll read a bunch of other stuff and come back to them every now and then. So this is the fourth one. I'm reading that, and then on my Kindle, this is the one I'm bringing it home with. I have been seeing this book all over TikTok. I sent you several TikToks on it. Was like, we have to cover this book. So, I'm getting a little ahead of my homework. It is our book we're covering next week. Are we going to release what it is? Do we want to say it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Metal Slinger. I can tell you the author's name right now. I'd have to look. When I say I am locked into this thing, I'm locked into this thing. I'm 25% in. Oh my gosh. So good. It's I don't want to say it's Fourth Wing, but the world building it's not the same storyline whatsoever, but the world building reminds me of Fourth Wing, to where it's gradual, and it's not 500 crazy names at once that you don't know. There is, obviously it's different, but it's done so naturally throughout the story that it just is really capturing me. I love it when authors can do that. I see why it's so big on Book Talk. So anyways, I'm excited for you to start it if you haven't. Okay. Now let's go to your turn, class. What are you reading?
Because we were living it, I broke out A Killing Cold. I'm only 15 pages in though.
Okay.
And then on my Kindle, I am reading the second. I finally got through Psycho Shifters, and now I'm in Psycho Fae.
Okay.
Yeah, it got a lot better in the last third of the book. I was able to get through it pretty quick, and then jumped right into. So I was I was reading it. Because there's no audio. I can't find audio anywhere. Not Libby, not Hoopla, not Audible even. Everand.
Book that bitch!
Oh my gosh, Everand. Haley said the first one doesn't have it, but the rest do. I'm like, I can't find any of them anywhere. I don't know if they've been taken down, or if they are behind some special paywall. I don't know. Oh, those two. I don't have an Audible right now. I don't have an audiobook right now.
Wow. That's the one I figured you would for sure have.
No, I finished Scythe and Sparrow Friday, and I listened to it, and then haven't been able to find anything else because I think I told you Wednesday or Thursday that I had to scroll and scroll and scroll to try and find anything audio on Everand, and I sent a very nasty message to them. Where the fuck are all these unlimited titles that you're bragging about? And can't find anything worth reading. So I'm pissed.
Yeah. Why don't you tell our lovely listeners what exactly happened? I think we've talked off and on about Everand and the different options and the frustrations, but why don't you tell them your experiment and what happened?
So it's been like a month. Everand's been pushing for like 3-4 months. Hey, we've got all these brand new titles, all these great things coming. You won't have to wait for stuff to come and go. It's gonna be great. They have 2 tiers. One is $16.99 and one is $11.99. The $11.99 is what I'm already paying. It gets you 1 unlock per month, which is similar to Audible, where you get 1 a month, or you get 3 a month on the $16.99. So I was like, okay. They kept pushing, but I was like, I'm not going to switch because you can't go back, like to the classic or whatever. They did this, and I would start an audiobook that I had already saved, because you save titles in Everand. You don't really like download them or whatever. You just save them to read whenever they come back. So I did that, and I would start one, get a chapter or 2 in, and then it would say, oh, you finished this title. Now it's time for review. I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't. You forced me to finish it. And then it would make me try to unlock it. I'm like, you motherfuckers. So I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to switch to the low tier on this new plan, see how it is. And I did it, and now I can't find anything to listen to. There are no audiobooks. There's nothing that's this free or unlimited, because they have unlock. You can sample it, which why would you want to sample anything? Because it gives you the best part or the beginning or something you don't care about. And then you just get, I mean, it gets you hooked in, I guess, but I'm not ever going to sample shit. Like, I don't care.
No, I don't either.
So, you have unlock or you have unlimited. And it says, before I switched, because I read all of the details, because I was like, I'm not going to be fucked over again. It's like, if you've listened to it before, it's unlocked. I was like, okay, that's great. Anything that I've read or listened to on Everand before should be unlocked, which is all of Colleen Hoover's catalog, all of Lucy Foley, all of Emily Henry, a lot of Lisa Jewell, like all of the books I've read, which I don't go back and reread a lot of stuff except for reminders of him.
Yeah.
Unless we're like going to cover it for the podcast. So I was like, I don't really care about, all that, but not all of the stuff I've read or listened to on there is unlocked. It's very pick and choose, but anything that's popular, anything that is within like the last 20 years, literally anything new or popular, it's locked. So you get 1 unlock a month and then you're fucked. I'm like,
so it's pretty much Audible is what it's turned into. We liked Everand because it was like Audible, except you had way more options for the same amount of money. Yes, we complained about things coming and going, and when we plugged into our cars or got in our cars, it'd restart fucking books or just stupid shit. But all in all, it was still significantly better than Audible, which I fear is not the case anymore. Because Audible, you get a monthly credit, which they have a new plan as well. I didn't go to it. I'm still grandfathered in on both of these. But Audible, I pay like $15 a month or whatever it is, and I get 1 credit. But I also could buy them. So to me, if I go to look up the book and it's less than $15, I just buy it. And then if it's $15 or more, I use my credit. So sometimes I feel like I'm getting a deal because it's like a brand new release, like Onyx Storm. It would have been $30 for audio, but I used a credit. Fucking Quicksilver. That one was on KU, but the audiobook wasn't on. It's just, that's another gripe I have. I love that Kindle has started letting you listen to some of the included audiobooks with KU. I feel like it's hit or miss and there's not a ton, but it's getting there. I wish I was actually telling somebody I was playing video games with last night. He was asking me about the books and everything and how he wishes he could listen and go back and forth. And I was like, well, you can, but it's just really, really hit or miss what's available, or you have to buy it. So I think they should combine KU and Audible. They should make some sort of something combined, and that would include, if you unlocked it, it would include the audio and the Kindle version, or anything included in KU that's included in Audible. I just think it should be like, let's say $20 a month, flat rate, one subscription. Because right now I'm paying for Spotify Premium, which I use for music. You get audiobooks included in that, 10 hours. So I can listen to like 2 cheesy rom-coms a month there. And then Audible, which is $15 a month. KU, which is also $15 a month. And then Everand, which is like 13 with tax or whatever. So how much money is that? That's a lot of fucking money. And when you're adding up, and then all the miscellaneous books that are $15 or less that I'm just buying, like the amount of money that I'm spending right now on books, because it's just like freaking TV streaming services. Everyone canceled Dish and DirecTV and shit back in the day to just have Netflix. Well, now YouTube TV is pretty much virtual, but oh no, you need Paramount Plus, you need Discovery Plus, you need Peacock, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video. We're paying more for the millions of streaming services than we were just back in the day to have DirecTV and you could freaking record everything.
And now they're putting in fucking ads.
You have to pay more. The whole point, yes, the whole point of it was to cancel the commercials. But now you have to pay extra. And my husband is the biggest brat in the world. Love you, honey, if you're listening. He will not watch a commercial. I have to pay the premium on every fucking streaming service, including Disney Plus. I forgot about Disney Plus. So that he doesn't have to watch a precious little commercial. If there's a commercial, be like, why do we have the cheap version? I'm like, okay, I'll upgrade it. Damn. He cannot. So anyways, that was kind of a tangent, but that brings me to another business idea that I have, okay? I need an app developer to hit up your girl, because I want one singular app where I can take my little cellular device, scan the IBSN on the back of a book, like you do on Goodreads to read reviews, okay? I want it to link to Goodreads so I could read reviews, or whatever app. I want it to link to everything, okay? So maybe when you log in, create your account, you sync it with everything. Like you sync it with your Amazon account, you sync it with your Goodreads, you use another one, right? Bookmori. Or whatever. So you sync all that, but also you sync it with the streaming services that you have for books, streaming services. So obviously you log in with Audible, Everand, Spotify. So when I scan this little IBSN, it tells me included in Kindle Unlimited, included on Audible, use a credit on Audible, on Everand March 1st through March 2nd. I don't know. I think that would be so convenient, because literally I went to Walmart this morning and I was looking for that Metal Slinger book to have as a trophy. Number one, I couldn't find it at Walmart, which I thought was kind of surprising. I may have to order it, and I'm looking and I found some other books, and I get my little thing out and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to buy a book if I know I can get it on some of the services I have. So I'm literally going to the task manager on my phone, flipping between all my services, looking for this particular book, one book to buy. I went through like 4 different apps because I'm like, it's wasteful for me to buy it. You know what I mean? Like it was like it was just annoying. And I'm just like, why don't we just have a better system for this? Same with TV shows. Why can't we do this shit for TV shows? I want to watch Yellowstone. Okay, I know that's Paramount Plus, but let's say I didn't know that. I'm like, okay, Yellowstone included with Apple TV. Oh, there's another one included with this, that, or the other. Instead of me like having to Google, or like Jesse wants to watch a particular movie from our childhood, it's not on Disney Plus. Okay, so then we go app by app by app searching to see where it's at. That is so fucking annoying.
Yeah, we got spoiled. Our TV does that for us.
Wait, your TV does that?
Yeah.
What kind of TV do you have?
LG.
Okay, we have a Samsung.
It has LG channels included that are like free, but we can also just use the search feature and it'll tell us what apps and if you have to pay for it or like what tier it's on. But yes, we need that for books and other things too.
Okay, well, I need to see if... I would assume if LG has it, Samsung would. Like, they're the two leaders in...
Yeah.
It could be just an LG. I don't know. I need to fuck with it, though, because that would be... That would save some time at night with us laying in bed trying to pick a movie. You know how it is. Fuck. And then we end up looking for an hour just to put on Pirates of the Caribbean every night. Or Indiana Jones. Every night we watch one of those two.
Yeah.
Before, like, just put it on to go to bed. Anyways. I meant to say this earlier, too. I don't know if you guys have seen, but some pictures finally came out. I guess they're making a movie of Homer's The Odyssey. And if you don't know what that is, if you're listening, it is one of the most popular books of all time. Supposedly about the Greek, I don't know if he was a demigod or something, Odysseus. I'm sure everybody's heard of him. And his 10-year journey after, like, the Trojan War home. He took a lot of detours, apparently, for 10 years. But it's like his story. Well, the first time ever they're going to make a movie of it. Which I didn't realize how fucking old this book was, guys. Like, 12 BC. I'm a Christian, so it's hard for me to imagine 12 years before Jesus was born, this book was written, and we're still reading it, and it's not the Bible. To me, everything that's that old is the Bible. You know, like, oh, that's the only old book, like, that old. You know, like, other books that I've read that are considered old are, like, Ernest Hemingway. That's not that old.
Yeah.
You know, like, stuff like that. So I'm like... Fitzgerald, we've talked about The Great Gatsby before. Yeah. Like, those books are considered old. No, this one's literally ancient, okay? I saw the pictures leak. It's Matt Damon playing Odysseus, and then I think Zendaya's in it, Tom Holland is in it. Like, the cast is... Yeah, let me just look it up while we're all here gathered in one place. Okay, Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, the person from Juno.
What is her name? His name.
That's why I'm saying the person. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I know her as a girl who got pregnant in Juno. Do not know anything recently. Freaking Anne Hathaway. Mia Goth, I don't know who that is. But then John Bernthal, he's from The Walking Dead. He's in a lot of shit. You'll see his face and you're like, I know who that is. And then Charlize Theron, you know who that is? Yeah, that's the fucking cast. And Christopher Nolan is directing it with, like, the most insane budget ever. So I see this, and I'm like, okay, this is awesome. This is, like, something I would love to go watch. Like, this cast, it's a work of, like, historical fiction. It just sounds so fun. I tried to read this book. I got through chapter 2, and I do not DNF books, and I DNF'd it. Things just were not written the way they are today.
That's Moby Dick. I've tried it twice, and I just... You can't.
Sick. It's just they did not... Okay, I read an Ernest Hemingway book the other day. I say read, I listened to an Ernest Hemingway book the other day. It was included in Everand. It was like 3 hours, and I was like... And honestly, our Ernest Hemingway I've read, The Old Man and the Sea, and that one wasn't that bad. This one was called The Sun Also Rises. It's about Spain and the bullfights, and Jesse and I want to go, so... Yeah, so Jesse and I want to go, and so I was like, oh, this will be cool. The dialogue, specifically, he said, blah, 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 she said, blah, 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 he said, blah, 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 she said. I'm like, okay, so modern authors have just found a way to make it flow better. I was like, I was struggling. I finished that one, but the Odyssey is even worse than that. Not a lot of description, so I was having a hard time visualizing what's going on. I just pictured Mamma Mia, which probably is not the best. But anyways, we had a really bad snowstorm. I was ready to get out of this motherfucking house.
Bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored.
Yep. But then yesterday I had market, and then I went home, had to pick up a wholesale order, go deliver it. I just had, like, a lot of small business stuff that had piled up I had to get done. Then my parents came to town and were like, you want to go to lunch? I went to lunch. I didn't get home until like 4. And I had left at like 7 in the morning. And I was like, I just want to go home. I just want to be home. After being home for 5 days and bitching about being home, I'm like, what's wrong with me?
It's the American way. We're never happy.
Yep. Bitching about the cold, but in August, I'll be ready for fall.
Yes.
Your kids have fun in the snow?
It was too cold to go out. They went out for like 15 minutes and then they were freezing.
It was below 0 on Wednesday, which is unheard of in the South, but it happened.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
Yeah, it was bad. I love that the snow is still here, except for the fact that it's blinding. Like, you look outside and you're just blinded by the sun and the snow reflecting it. But yeah.
Yeah, it's still here, but it's about to be half my yard's a fucking mud rustling pit. So my dogs wait at the back door, wipe the paws before they come in the house.
Yeah.
Especially because after we finish here, I'm starting a deep clean because obviously we're having a party on Friday in 5 days and I will be working all week. So I've got to do the baseboards and the stupid shit that no one pays attention to that I have to do today.
Yeah.
And then the dogs are not going to be allowed to breathe in certain areas of the house. So we'll mostly be in the backyard, which is good for this kind of party. It's good. I mean, like, it's like clean the bathroom and tidy up, but I'm not worried about like inside of the house as much as the backyard.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to be sitting around in the backyard anyways. And the weather's supposed to be nice, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Speaking of the cold weather, Detroit got...
So that was Detroit, or where? I don't even know where. I just know Michigan.
Yeah, so it was Detroit. They had a water main break overnight, and the flooding, it was so cold because of this polar vortex in the Midwest. So cold. And just being a northern state, it's always cold, but it was extra cold. These floodwaters from this water main busting froze, and it's like halfway up on cars. I'll see if I can clip in a picture of it, but it looks like something from a horror movie, like wild to me. And of course, I have a lot of downtime at work, so I click on the like little pop-ups, like breaking news or whatever, and just see like what's going on around the world. And that was one of them. And I was like, holy crap, like it's freaking cold.
Yeah.
To like flash freeze floodwaters.
It's like feet.
Yeah.
Literally the hockey teams could be practicing on air. Insane. When you said that to me, I was like, there's no way. It looks like a freaking Call of Duty map. It looks like a Russian town in a freaking video game map. It's crazy. I was shocked. And there's nothing you can do. What are you going to take a fucking Tesla flamethrower to the whole damn city? You can't even get out. Can you walk on that shit? What do you do? Like, you know that the heat and electricity and water, like, you ain't getting water in the house. You ain't showering. You ain't, I don't know, like, I can't even begin to comprehend how they fix that without just God bringing some sunshine, you know? Like, and then the flooding, their lakes, their rivers, they're going to be it's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insane.
Wild times.
Yeah. Speaking of wild times, more fucking plane crashes. And still, we said this last week. I don't know if this happens all the time and we never hear about it, and now we're just starting to, or if this is a distraction because, you know, we'll put the tinfoil hats on. Sometimes when there's a bunch of drama in the news that everyone is so focused on, there's other shit going on that they're distracting us from. And I don't know if it's that or if it really is just like all coming to a head. I genuinely don't know, but I am flying in September across the big pond, and I'm really anxious about it, and it is February. Jesse's like, if this stuff doesn't stop, we're not going to Italy, and I'm like, stop! Get you
a ship, find somebody with a cargo ship, and you'll have to take an extra long trip.
Yeah, it's so nerve-wracking, and it's commercial. The private planes, I'm sure that does happen all the time. You hear about little plane crashes and like small planes. Like, yes, they're bothering me, but they're not bothering me as bad because I do know of hearing about that stuff. Mm-hmm. The commercial plane literally flipping upside down the other day in Vancouver. Thank God no one died. Yeah, as it's landing. I watched the video, I'm like, how did that happen in 2 seconds? Like, not even 2 seconds. It was like a split second. I'm like, thank God no one died. It seems like the crew handled it perfectly. I saw a video of like a passenger. Like, they were, but at the same time, that's why you wear your seatbelt when you are landing, and that's why they're so adamant. I've always thought, like, what the fuck? It's just a landing. Like, you know, but then seeing that, I'm like, you had no indication that was going to happen.
No.
They all thought normal landing, and then they were upside down.
Yeah. And like you said, it was so quick. Like you watch the video, we'll link it, but you can see they're landing, and then it starts to like teeter, and then it's just boop, upside down. And these people said that they were hanging upside down because they're, you know, strapped in by their seatbelts, hanging upside down like bats. I'm like, how wild, just terrifying, all of it.
But I don't care what they would have said. I promise you, you can't even stand up in those seats without bending over. I would have unbuckled my seatbelt, grabbed myself and just sat on the roof. I know they have to evacuate a certain way, but there's no way. This sounds so dramatic. I get headaches, okay? I could not be hung upside down. I could not. On top of everything else, the fear, I would not let it happen. They would have to physically restrain me upside down to get me to stay. I would be fucking panicking.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody was. They probably all came unbuckled and were just trying to rush get out of the airplane. Like, you don't know if it's going to explode or what.
Yeah.
Like, that would be what's going on in my head. Okay, did that jet fuel going to explode this thing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I did see, which good on Delta, they're giving every passenger and the crew $30,000 each. I'm sure as a tactic to try and prevent them from suing. But they said that there are no strings attached. It doesn't affect their rights to sue at a later time if they were inclined to do that. So
yeah,
like that's nice of them. Only
I'm sure that's on top of like their bags, and I'm sure they are compensating people additionally for all that stuff, I would think. And like, of course, any medical, like, yeah, no, they did that quick. Did you see that? I think it's a wife and she has several kids. Her husband died on that Washington DC flight. Mm-hmm. She's the first one to formally like start the process of a lawsuit. Mm-hmm. And they're expecting many more. And she's suing the government, the military, American Airlines. Like she's suing multiple parties. And the video I listened to was like very confident that she will not be the first and that she'll win.
Yeah, easily, because we all saw it televised.
Yeah. Yeah, so the plane crashes are scaring me, but hopefully it's like I said, the commercial plane crashes, but hopefully we'll get through it and they'll stop happening. Like, we have enough tragic things. We don't need to add plane travel to.
Yeah, no.
Okay, this point kind of goes into your next thing you just typed. I talked about the hockey game last week, okay, where the Canadians booed our national anthem. America came out and fucked around, find out, whooped their ass, physically and in the game. We had a rematch. Canada did win. I will say, I watched the whole game. My first hockey game ever. I see why you girly pops like a good hockey romance. I get it. Also, it was super fun to watch. I'm a big football girl. I don't know if I've talked about that before, but like, I actually understand football. I know the positions. I watch it. I'm not like one of those, go sports. Like, that's fine if you are. I actually really do enjoy football. Baseball, grew up at the ball field. Love, love, love both of those sports. That being said, hockey was funner to watch. I didn't know what all the rules were. Okay, so I'm like Googling, trying to figure out there's 3 periods versus this. It looks like soccer kind of style rules, but then they go in these circles and then they can just fucking fight and the refs allow it. I'm like, are they refs? Are they umpires? I don't know. I have a lot of questions, but I found this girl on TikTok who does hot girl hockey lessons and like teaches, and I'm like, okay, I love this. I'm about to watch all of her videos. She just popped up to me this morning. But I will say, guys, like, watch hockey. They're an underappreciated sport. They are fucking athletes, man. The fact they can skate around, hit stuff while it's not falling. And then do they do like MMA training? Because they can fight, okay? Like they look so big and stuff in their hockey gear. But then like I watched the Team USA walk in and they dress like, you know, the football players where they're like, it's a kind of fashion show. Like they wear nice suits or whatever. Unless you're Jason Kelsey and you wear like Under Armour sweats and slides. But no, they had like a little fashion show. They all looked like normal athletic dudes. Like I didn't look at any of them and think like, you know, you look at a basketball player and you're like, basketball. You look at a football player and you're like, they just look like fit dudes. And I'm like, this is so different. I don't know. Yeah. I had a lot of fun. My husband had a lot of fun. The vibe in the crowd looked fun. The music, I was like, okay, hockey, we've been watching the wrong sport our whole lives.
Yeah.
But the reason I said this ties into what you had typed next is you had found a video where Canadians are under the impression from their prime minister, which, by the way, or whatever he is, everybody hates him in Canada. He is very hated in Canada. He's very hated in America. I don't know how he's in his position. I thought he resigned. Did he not?
Trudeau. I thought he did too.
Yeah, I thought he did too. Maybe it's like on a timeline. But I will say this going, we're not condoning any political thing here, but like he's very universally hated. Like American, I don't feel like I have a right to opinion. I'm not Canadian. He doesn't affect me whatsoever. But the people I've talked to hate him. And then Canada talks about hating him. So And it could just be fake news. I genuinely don't know. I just feel like he's hated. Anyways, the video you sent me, I'll let you say more about it, but it felt like he was telling them, like, we're trying to go to war with them. And so they hate us right now, which, like, I haven't gotten that impression at all. Anyways, okay, you go ahead.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, she went into great detail about all of these things, how they're about to, like, come at us and try to start some sort of war. And I'm like, one, you're going to fuck around and find out, because I've seen your Canadian mounted whatever. But
Cheese,
two,
Dudley do right.
Yeah. But two, why aren't we seeing anything about this? And I've seen a ton of the videos. Have you seen the cute winter boots?
Mm-mm.
It's like you search this hashtag cute winter boots, and it's people on these videos. They're holding like a notebook and they're flipping the pages because they can't say any of the words that are on these pages. And it's like a warning to America about how we need to be preparing, because shit's about to hit the fan and we need to be preparing like an escape route and have our passports and have cash on hand and have stockpiles of food in case something happens. Like, it is fucking Wild West out here. And
though?
Our own government. That's what I'm like. I don't know. But then I'm seeing, I just saw videos this morning about censorship from Germany and from Ukraine and Russia, where they're talking about, similar to the Canada girl, how they think they're about to come into a war with America, and they're trying to get the word out and see how Americans feel about it, or just start a conversation. And Americans aren't seeing it because it's being censored. I'm like, okay, what really is happening out there that we're not aware of?
Yeah.
Kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already a prepper, but I'm like, how much more do I need to prep?
Yeah, like, if someone's gonna attack us, I would assume, like, Russia, China. But, I mean, a lot of people aren't happy with Trump's tariffs, and I'll say this as a small business owner, I don't give a shit. Cool, put tariffs on things that are made in other countries, crappy quality, and customers will buy from me instead. I don't know what else to say as a small business owner, like, without getting too far in the weeds politically, but, like, I just think that on all sides of the fence, all parties need to research and be a little bit more thoughtful, because I think part of that might be part of this, like, scare tactic propaganda. Like, people were saying back when Biden was like, they're gonna take your guns. Like, everyone has always said my entire life, they're coming for the guns. They haven't done fucking shit.
No,
they haven't done fucking shit. It's propaganda. You're not gonna get guns from Americans, period. Like, I think everyone's aware of that. Like, make them harder to get, sure. I don't give a shit. I'll still be able to get them, you know? Make it a mental health thing, sure. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're ever going to fully take them away or be able to. Let me just say that. I don't think they could. But at the same time, that scare tactic has been there my entire life.
Yeah.
Literally, since I was able to shoot my first gun, I was taught, you know, government wants to take your guns. I don't know. Everyone always talked about it, but in my lifetime, I haven't even seen any change. I don't know.
Yeah.
So this could be that, but it's also like, I wonder if that might also be a distraction too, because when you think about it, what did Congress come out and say the other day? Again, guys, I'm not getting political on this. This is facts. That lady, this representative, came out and said, we've opened an investigation. JFK, MLK, RFK Sr. 9/11. She fucking said 9/11. Okay, they're investigating all of it. And she literally said, I have the Epstein list on my desk right now. That is, and I'm like, where's her office? The Epstein list, they're gonna let it out. And I think it's about fucking time. We deserve to know the people we are supporting, what they're doing. I want Diddy list, I want Epstein list. I want to know. I'm not a cancel culture person, but if you fuck around with minors, I will cancel your ass. Yeah. So I think as an American people, we're nosy, of course, but we also deserve to know who's a piece of shit, and who we want to support. How I feel. But they're about to release all this, okay? Who is in charge of media in the country, probably people on these lists or that know a little something about some of this stuff. That's kind of where my head's going with it. I'm telling you, every time something happens, there's like a bill people are sliding to give themselves 100% raise or some stupid shit like that.
Literally. All the time.
Oh, also, we might be getting extra $5,000 from Doge. Did you hear that?
I saw up to like $8,000 plus. I'm like,
it could be 8. So the plan is
bring it on, Doge Daddy.
Yeah, for real. And the plan is that once they get completely done with their audit, which I think they're about to go to the IRS.
Yeah.
But they just finished Social Security, and guys, there's people collecting Social Security that are older than our fucking country is. 300 and something years old. So many people. How the fuck has this... Guys, again, this is not political. This is facts. How the fuck has this been happening for however many... Literally every administration since George Bush or whenever it was created.
Yeah.
Literally when Social Security was created, there was like a line on the P&L, I think they said for like $3 billion that they could not trace. Who has that fucking money? Where is this money? The Pentagon has never passed a fucking financial audit. I have to do my tax returns every year to the fucking dime, and your bitch ass can't even pass an audit?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys no matter who you voted for or what your beliefs, if that doesn't make you mad, you need to look in the mirror, because that's some horse shit. If it doesn't make you mad, we're sending $50 million in condoms to another country. Look in the mirror. That's a fucking problem. You should be mad about that. We should not be supplying condoms when we are in trillions of dollars in debt. Even if we weren't. Why the fuck are we supplying condoms to another country? Please enlighten me. What part of that is smart? The amount of stuff they're finding, just common sense. Who the fuck is signing this shit? Sorry, I just got really fired up about that. Like,
people funneling it into their own account. I'm sure condoms were never sent. It just went into somebody's account that is shareholder or part owner of this business that supposedly does these things, humanitarian efforts, and it's just sitting in some offshore account somewhere.
Yeah,
for somebody
it's in a Swiss bank.
Buy their third yacht. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's insane. And so I think what they're going to do once they finish everything, 20% towards the deficit of the country, 20% divided by every person who filed taxes for this year. So I think they're planning on giving it like next year after they finish. I'm sure it takes time. I deal with financials for a living, and I know how time consuming that is. So I think the plan was whoever filed taxes for this year, next year, they're going to divide equally 20% of all of the savings that they find and give it back to us, which, And then people were like, what's happening? As they should, People are asking what's happening with the other 60%. They're like, well, that's going to go in the government back to, like, where it actually needs to be spent. Like, I don't know. I think just keeping it, like, working capital was the way I kind of understood it. But, like, 20% towards the debt, 20% to the people. Honestly, that's a really good way to give back and be like, hey, we understand that your money, you pay a lot of money to the government. It's gone to stupid places. Here's a little bit of money to put back in the economy and stimulate it. Like, that's going to be great. That's what stimulus is for, is people to go out and go to a restaurant and give your server a tip. Go to the farmer's market and buy from some small businesses. You know, go here, go there, buy a new car, you know. Things like that is what it's for. And I think that would be crazy impactful to our economy. If it actually happens, I hope it does.
Yeah. So I looked it up. Social Security started in 1935, and it was signed in by FDR.
One of the assassinations that they are looking into. Isn't that convenient? Mm-hmm. That's on the investigations list. I knew it would be him. He's the one who, like, really... One thing he really did do was, after the Great Depression... I think, or he was the president that, like, really got through the Great Depression. Like, he made government jobs, which now, but at the time, gave people jobs when they didn't have any. So, I mean, he did a lot back then. I think some of the stuff of his that we use is a little dated. Mm-hmm. But, like, no, I think he did a good job back then.
Yeah.
So, anyways, okay, this is a hot take. I don't think we should have to pay into Social Security. I think we talked about this the other day. I just did my taxes last week, so if I'm a little more fired up than usual, it's because I hate having to give the government more fucking money like I do every year. Let's just take the hardworking people with no kids that have good jobs and fuck them over, while rich people pay no taxes and poor people pay no taxes. That's just pretty much the system we live in. So, anyways, I'm fucking fired up about it. But I purposely do not have federal withholding taken from my check because I can put it in a high yield savings account and make more money. And that's what we did. And they charged me a fee to do that, $400, which is more than the interest that I made, which was frustrating. And then they still make me pay Medicare, Social Security, even though I'm 99% sure it's going to be gone by the time I can use it. I should have the option to opt out and invest my money
I see fit. Yeah.
How I see fit and buy my own fucking insurance. I do not want to rely on Medicare, Medicaid. I've been around it. I do not want to rely on it. I do not want to rely on Social Security because I could be putting that money in a freaking Roth IRA right now on mutual funds and have 10 times by the time I retire what they're going to send me monthly in a check. Period. So, while we're talking about reform, let me pick what I do with my own fucking money. That's all I want. It's my money and I want 877 cash.
Yep, call J.G. Wentworth.
Anyways, okay, you're next. Oh, you added another little item here.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about our favorite Italian.
Yes. So he had his first day in court.
And he was dressed to the nines.
Yes, and he did plead not guilty. Again, Luigi Mangione, in case you're not aware, he is accused of killing Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. And everyone on TikTok, all the girls, the book talk girlies, went feral and said, book recs, please.
Literally. Feral with all capitals?
Yeah. So I didn't really see anything about like what that court date, like what they discussed or what was brought up. I just saw that he pled not guilty. Obviously, that means they'll go to a trial. They'll have, which I feel like in 2025, it is next to impossible to find jurors who don't watch the news or see it somehow from TikTok or social media. So they have to find 12 people that aren't caretakers, aren't, bad citizens, and don't know anything about this case, even though it's been everywhere. So good luck to them.
That's what I was going to say. That's going to be fucking hard. The jury selection process is going to be a bunch of boomers that don't have TikTok, is what it is. But I heard that his attorney, like, what happened in there was actually, like, him just going to plead not guilty, but his attorney, like, petitioned the judge because she's really worried about him having a fair trial. And so there was something she was trying for because she was concerned about it, just because of all of the media and drama and everything surrounding the case. Like, beautiful example, when they brought him back to New York, they made it look like a fucking movie. Yeah. Like, it was like Fast and Furious or some shit, is what it looked like.
He's already being treated unfairly.
Yeah. And then the prisoners from the windows, Luigi's conditions suck and all that. Like, people, if you're one of those people that is just not morally gray, I say this, like, you would do a bad thing for a right reason. If you're Dane Atos and you follow every single fucking rule, you live by the codex. If you know, you know.
Yes.
I could see them hating this guy just because he's did what he did. But then you're going to have the people who favor him because they believe in vigilante justice and morally gray. We are book talk women are morally gray. We support them. But at the same time, like, yeah, I'm very much a type A rule follower, but I think there's lines, and I think there's some people that don't have a sense for that. It's right or wrong. It's a rule or it's broken. Like, that's just how they are, and I could see them treating him unfairly, was my point of that whole tangent. Did you see the Gabby Petito documentary?
I saw it. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, I saw it on social media and on Netflix the other night when I turned it on.
Yeah, I did not watch it yet, but I've seen a lot of TikToks and people are like hating Brian Landry's parents and like thinking he's still alive and he's hidden, that they just got his teeth pulled because that's all they found was like his notebook and his teeth, which was very convenient. Mm-hmm. His parents are like hiding him, which we think they hid him for a long time anyways. But yeah, no, I've just seen a lot of it come back up. I remember when that case I was following it. I was in some Facebook group following it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, similar to It Ends With Us, there are a lot of women coming out and very deeply resonating with what happened, because they're like, I was Gabby Petito until something happened grossly enough that I had that moment of shit, like, he's going to kill me. I have to get out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's been good to bring, especially after It Ends With Us, awareness back to what the whole point of this is. There's people that are like standing up for Brian and saying it was self-defense and shit, and people are attacking them on the internet. Like, strangling is a crime of passion and takes several minutes. It isn't a, I hit her or pushed her once and she fell into a rock, or any, you know, like where you could have said, yeah, there was an altercation. No, maybe there was an altercation, but he's knowingly strangled her, which is like several minutes. You have to, that's intentional. I'm sorry. You could be in the heat of the moment and worked up, but you don't hold the person you love most throat for several minutes unless your intention is to kill them, period.
Yeah.
It's not a reaction from abuse. It's not, no, it's you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But speaking of It Ends With Us, my favorite actor, really, probably right now, Brandon, I think it's Sinclair or Sinclair. Sklinner, okay. He's in 1923, a Yellowstone spinoff, which is actually where I know him from. Mm-hmm. But he is obviously Atlas and It Ends With Us. At first, he spoke out like reposting Blake's story before all the truth came out from Justin, and was like, you know, supporting women. Okay, whatever. Then he got asked again this past week. He was doing an interview for 1923 Press because it comes back on tonight, which I'm so pumped about. That's my favorite of all the spinoffs. I love it. Harrison Ford, love you. Anyways, it comes back on tonight, so he was doing press, and they asked him, he said, you know what, I just really want people to remember what the movie's about. Why we made the movie in the first place. Apparently he had a friend that was in a situation, got out of it because of the story in the movie, so it's really hitting home to him, and it's very, he just wants people to focus on the whole point of it, which I'm like, what a classy way to handle a trashy question. He's publicly supporting another thing he's doing. Of course people are going to ask him about it, but still sleazy, and he handled it very tactfully, I felt like. I kind of would have been like, next question, or something asshole-like. But I feel like he did that well. We still have to wait for court and all that, but no more updates other than that, really. Yeah. But we do have a cover, so I'm trying to rush through these because we're like, I was worried we wouldn't have enough to talk about this week, but we are talking. I got fired up about taxes. That is totally on me. We have a cover for the Housemaid movie. It's Sydney Sweeney in a maid's outfit. So men, sure you'll love that. And some women, whatever. She is obviously playing the girl, and the same gentleman I was just talking about, Brandon, is playing the dad. Husband. Yeah. So that'll be fun. Okay, should we skip and just go straight to this book?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. The moment you've all been waiting for. If you have not read Scythe and Sparrow by Brynn Weaver, the third book in the Ruinous Love trilogy, come back later, go read it and come back. Spoilers. And I wanted to read the trigger warnings because part of the funniness of her books is the trigger warnings. Yes. Genuinely. Yeah. Bless her heart, though. She has an uncomfortable relationship with food. Yeah. From the first two. I'll say this, we're probably going to spoil all 3 books. Yeah. So I'd say make sure you've read the whole series. Okay, this is actually what she posted on her Instagram for this. Okay, the full list, as usual, an odd one, so grab your ticket and get ready for a weird little ride. Trigger, eyeballs and eyelids. I'm not sure as I really ruined cotton candy as much, maybe just to file it. Agreed. Possibly hot dogs, staple guns, and various sharp objects. A drug-addicted raccoons, a trigger. She said R drug. Okay. Clowns, also sexy clowns. Medical trauma. Injured dog, but he will be okay, I promise. Spicy spice. Okay, then those were the joking ones. The heavier ones are domestic violence, psychological, emotional abuse, sexual harassment, threats and intimidation, misogyny, parental neglect, child physical abuse. Anyways. Yeah, no, she loves to take food and ruin it. I think we've had pizza and ice cream both ruined for us in the other books. I don't think cotton candy was actually ruined for me. It was more of a candy cane situation, like some of our Christmas books.
Mm-hmm.
But she had to find a way to get food in there.
Yeah.
What did you think? Of the three, let's do rank your three of this series. First, second, and third.
Okay, for the theme of dark romance, I'm gonna say definitely the first one. Just in order. 1, 2, 3.
Me
Three.
too.
3's my least favorite. But if
Same.
you just want a love story, this third one is that. It is a love story. It is much less stabby stab and locking people up and putting them in furniture, all of the things.
Yeah.
So this one is a lot more of a love story. I hated the end.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, listening to it, because they had they had the epilogue, they had a bonus chapter, they had another bonus chapter from another point of view. And I think she's going to start another book about this Autumn person.
She is.
The very final chapter.
She is. She said in an interview like a couple days ago that don't be an epilogue skipper. You'll get a little short sneak peek into my next series. I guess she's already turned in the book. Like, she has it done. She just doesn't have a cover or release or anything. But yeah, no, you're right. She did. Yeah,
I was like, where did this girl come from?
I
don't remember that. Yeah.
I forgot about her, but I couldn't tell if she was like up to no good and was gonna fuck with them, or if she was like gonna do her own thing and was inspired by them. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, because the way that one of them looked back at her and just like turned around and went on
and
about
smiled.
Her business, I was like,
and she's wearing the shirt. I'm like, this is all weird. I put a note. One of my notes was, this is like a serial killer version of Knock 'Em Out.
Very much so.
3 brothers. I mean, Lucy's not. He's an adopted brother, but like 3 brothers.
Yeah.
You have like the cop, the doctor. You have like the bad boy with the restaurant.
Literally.
What Knox?
Yeah.
Yeah, Knox. And then you have the like bad boy Lucy. I mean, it really is. I agree with you. The first one was by far my favorite.
Yeah.
By far my favorite. The third one, I agree on the love story. I put that she was my least favorite female main character, which we've talked about this 100 times. I'm not a big female main character person. I'm really here for like the zaddies, okay?
Yeah. Even I got annoyed by her though. I was like,
okay, and you usually
Yeah,
you usually aren't like as cynical about them as me. Like I feel like you're still there for the zaddies, but like you appreciate a strong female character more than I do. That's just fair. But I was like, she's so helpless. Like, bitch, you are not good at killing people. Stop. Why? Stop. Yeah. He's a doctor.
Like, you're just dragging all these other people in unnecessarily. Like, just give the names to your BFFs and let them handle it. Like, they're good at this.
Literally, so Sloane is the first one, right?
Yeah.
She's the Blackbird. Okay, she is a bad ass. Sloane would have their eyeballs in a fucking web in 2 seconds. Why are you not group texting? Like, Sarah, I know she wants to, like, I appreciate when she's just, like, giving them an out before she starts killing. Yeah. Like, she's, like, helping women get away from abusive men. I 100% love that. Honestly, any abusive woman that wants to get away from any abusive man, pop off, okay? As you should. Some random motorcycle girl doesn't need to just go kill him and then not know what the fuck to do. Like, I was like, girl,
you're creating good at messes all over the place.
You're throwing up. Yeah, you're throwing up because of these sticks you shoved in this motherfucker's eye. Not that he didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But then you don't even finish the job.
Yes.
I was like, come on.
You're gonna do it. Poison.
Go all in. Yeah. Give me some of that belladonna or the aquatofana and let's get it done.
I'm just like, okay, dress all slutty, flirt with him. He's obviously a piece of shit. Stroke his ego a little bit. Put a little bit in his old-fashioned. Sayonara.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? Sorry, I just think that women could be so much sneakier than trying to physically manhandle men. It's not the same. As much as feminists want to act like they cannot. They're stronger than us. Like, yes, you can try. You can be strong. Pop off. Do whatever you want. You are not going to just randomly untrained woman is not going to beat up the untrained man. Like, it's just not going to happen. They're stronger. That's the way they're supposed to be. It's fine. It's no big deal. But, like, stop.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, if you want to be a woman and work out and get strong and train, pop off. Pop off. Love it. Just be prepared if you go to murder someone. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta have your ducks in a row. You can't just go into it willy-nilly, like not having a weapon or any means to actually do the job. Like, what do you think you were gonna do? Just run him over with your motorcycle?
Literally. And the
Hit
way
him
it's
with a weapon
described,
you find in his own house?
yeah, like it's gotta be like a dirt bike. And I'm like, would you think you were gonna get in a physical altercation with a man and be able to drive a motorcycle away?
I know.
Sis, you are not cut out for this. Okay, I already asked you that question. Yeah, my favorite was the first one. I think the banter and the okay, one thing about these books, you have to listen to audio.
Yeah.
I read the first one. Yeah, I got it from Book of the Month. I read the first one. I think I started to, and then someone told me you have to read or listen to the audiobook, so I did that, and I'm glad I did. And then the other two, I listened to audio as well. The audio actors or narrators, phenomenal.
Yes. Yep. And some of I feel bad for some of these narrators. Like, I know it's your job and you're prepared for it, but some of the things that they have to describe in some of these spicy scenes, I know it has to be very uncomfortable because a lot of these they do duet. So, like, they're in the same room, like talking like back and forth. It's not like he records and she records and then they splice it together. Sometimes they do, but a lot of times, just to make it easier on everybody, they're just in the same room. And that's gotta be so awkward.
Especially like the noises and then like good girls. Good girls.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is. I'd have to have a cocktail first. I'm like, okay, we gotta
Loosen up.
loosen up.
Yeah.
Any other notes? We really didn't talk about the book much.
Because there's not much to it, really. Like,
yeah,
it's short and sweet and very stabby, very bless you.
Thank you.
Very kind of grotesque in some parts. And that's why the content and trigger warnings are there. And that's the best part of the book, really.
Yeah.
So between that and the banter, that's all I got.
Yeah, no, banter's good. She's a good author of banter. I was playing Xbox the other day, or sorry, I say Xbox. I do not play Xbox. I have a PC. But my name on Call of Duty is Bookish Baddie. That's like that's what I put on my TikTok, so I post my gamer videos as Bookish Baddie. And I'm very obviously a girl. My character is a unicorn, okay? With hot pink yoga pants and a crop top, but my belt has a heart that has them flipping you off. It's just cute, okay? I have a cute character. And there was another girl playing, and her name was Bookish something else. And she was playing with her husband, I was playing with my husband, and he was like, hey babe, there's another bookish girl in here. And then we started talking. The whole team's getting so fucking Jesse's like, Loren, shut as they're trying to listen to the game. And I'm like, what books have you read? And she's like, I like dark romance. And I'm like, oh, have you read Credence? And she's like, yes. And we just start talking about like books in the middle of this Call of Duty game. And Jesse's like, I cannot hear the game. You guys need to add each other and play separately because I can't fucking do this. So yeah, anyways, I added her. I made a friend. But there's bookish girlies everywhere. You just gotta watch out.
Yes.
Anyways, sorry,
just a
little tidbit.
So next week we're doing Metal Singer.
Yes. I'm so excited for you to read it. You're gonna love it.
Okay, and I looked it up. It is by Rachel Schneider.
Okay.
So yeah. Follow our socials, comment, leave us if we left anything out, or if you have more intel on any of these news stories we talked about, let us know. Next week we'll be talking about Metal Singer by Rachel Schneider, if I can talk. I guess that's it. We will talk to you guys later.
Bye.